I've done a lot of work around the area of search engine optimization and content marketing over, more than 2 decades now. And one of the things that I've found out, a secret to success, is to give people what Google wants you to give them. As a result, Google rewards you for doing that, and by giving you higher rankings, which makes it so that more people see your content, and it turns into a giant love fest that is incredibly good. So how in the world do you find out what Google wants you to give people? All right. So they give us 2 key hints. One of them is called people also ask. I'll show you that in just a second. The other one is called people also search for. So let me show you what this looks like, and so that you can see what I am referring to. Okay, so here I've done a Google search on the term meditation. Now, one of the challenges of Google, of running any search engine, is that you have to guess what people want. So someone who keys in meditation, do they want a guided meditation? Do they want how to? Do they want a reference to a meditation retreat? All those things can be something that someone would search for using the term meditation. So they have to guess. And so one of the things that Google has done is that they have put this section right here, this people also ask section in, usually high up. And by the way, it tends to happen even more when you go to a search, click on something, come back immediately to the search, then they are giving you these clarifying questions. What these clarifying questions do is they tell Google, hey, of all the different options, these are the ones that I really want to know about. And then Google starts feeding you that kind of information. So people also ask, is Google saying, hey, here are some of the most popular questions that people ask around this subject of meditation. So what are the 3 types of meditation? What are 5 ways to meditate? What exactly does meditation do? How do you do meditation? If you look at it, that's sort of what I was talking about, different ways of doing it. And each one of them, if you click the little down arrow, it gives you a brief answer and a link to a page that answers that. Wouldn't you like to be that page? Guess what? You can be. It's actually not hard to be that particular page. And by the way, notice one thing. Before I clicked that down arrow, there were 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there's 6. Watch this. What are 5 ways to meditate? I click on that and I scroll down. Oh, hey, there's even more. So this is a way to find out the key questions that Google really wants to have you cover on your web pages, because these are the things that Google is finding that people are most interested in getting answers about. Now, just think about this for just a minute. If you were Google and you had a site that was consistently answering very, very well the questions that most people are asking about this particular category, would you tend to rank those pages higher or lower? All right. It quickly makes a lot of sense that Google is going to reward the sites that answer the questions that most people are most frequently asking. So this is the people also ask section. Now, I also promised you that I was going to tell you about this concept of people also search for. So let's go down to that. All right, so I'm going to scroll down further here. And we get this. This is related searches. It's showing things that people also search for around the subject of meditation. So meditation apps, spiritual meditation techniques for beginners, etc. And so this is giving you other searches that people are looking for. And there's actually another way that they show this that isn't appearing on this page, but you get the theory of what I'm trying to say here. So let's do this. Let me show you a tool that at the moment is still in beta, and so it's free, that gives you basically what they do is they go out and they do thousands and thousands of searches, and they grab all those people also ask off there, because one of the things that they have found is that Google tends to show the same questions with multiple different searches. Wouldn't you like to know exactly what those terms are, so that you're not just answering a few questions that are applied to one term, but you're answering questions that are applied to lots and lots of different terms? Now, I'm going to step back here and just make a point before I do this. One of the things that happens as I teach these concepts of content development and looking at data to figure out what the search engines are really, how many times people are searching on, is that people will put in their terms and they'll come back and they'll say, I only see 53 searches in my particular area. I can't do this. Well, guess what? What I'm showing you right now is something you definitely can do. Because even if your particular specialty only gets a few searches, Google is still frequently using this people also ask to clarify. And so if you write about those subjects, then you can get highly ranked for the key terms that you really want to be ranking on to drive traffic into your page. Okay, so this works for anyone, no matter what size your business, but it also works particularly well if you have a business that doesn't get all that many searches. With one small exception, this doesn't work all that well for local searches. So if you're saying meditation classes, Pittsburgh, this isn't probably the strategy to use. Okay. All right. So this tool, searchresponse.io. So searchresponse.io. And what this does is they go out and they look at people also ask, people also search for, and related searches, and they give you the ability to get a report on that subject. So let's go to the people also ask tool. And let's type in the subject of meditation. And by the way, you should read the language they put on these pages, because it's very helpful in understanding some of these elements. Like, for example, they don't always show the same results. Here are searches done 1 week apart each time, and the list of things is different for each one of those. It always starts with, does a mattress topper really help? But then the second question, what is the most comfortable mattress topper? Are mattress toppers a waste of money? What's the best mattress topper to buy? So these things change on a fairly regular basis. But if you are using these key questions, they can change the order and move things around. You're still answering key questions that Google wants you to answer, and so you'll tend to get ranked higher as a result. Okay, so let's come up here and let's put in meditation. I don't know how meditation became like my default question for everything, but here we go. So here's a list of 10,226 questions. That'll take you a little while to write all that content about this that show up in the people also ask when people have searched on the terms meditation. What are the 3 types of meditation? And by the way, here's an article that answers that. There's been 5,091 searches on that subject. What are the 7 types of meditation? Is there a completely free meditation app? Obviously, if you're writing about meditation, you probably ought to answer that question. Can guided meditation be dangerous? What's a good free meditation app? So these are questions. And by the way, one of the reasons I use meditation is because everybody can sort of identify with it. And it's like, oh yeah, I'd like to know a good free meditation app. I want to know if it's dangerous. I want to know different types of meditation I can use. And so that's one reason I use this, because you can look at this and you can say, hey, these are obvious. But are they so obvious that you've ever actually written something about that? Okay, so this is a great report that shows you that, and you can download the CSV of it and be able to see all that information. And by the way, you can click recent to see, okay, hey, what are the recent results that have come back? All right, so I'm going to go back to all. Now, they also have these couple other things. So you can put in a domain name. So I'm going to put in the name scambusters.org. And what this will do is it'll show me no data. It helps if you spell it right. Okay. What this does is it says, okay, here's 87 different questions where scambusters.org is ranking, it is the answer to the people also ask. So are creation diamonds a hoax? What happens if you give a scammer access to your computer? Is it safe to send e-cards? Those kinds of things. And so it shows you, hey, for this site, here are questions that it is already answered. It's showing up in the people also asked section. And then you can go into a very specific one. So let's take this one right here, this ecards.html, okay? So okay. So if I put in a specific one, Scambusters, oh man. Okay, it would help if I could type. All right, here we go. And it's giving back nothing. It's doing something. It's leaving out the slash. Okay, so that's the URL. Okay, that's my problem. I'm so sorry. Okay, for whatever reason, it's not going to show this, but 10 minutes before I went live with this, it showed me I think it was like 19 different places where that particular page showed up in People Also Ask. Then in addition to that, there's People Also Search For, which is these kinds of things here where it shows People Also Search For. So let's just do this. Let's put in meditation again. And it shows, okay, here are other terms that people search for related to that. Again, you can go through and just write content about these areas, and it's going to increase your SEO over time. All right. I encourage you also to come up here to this case study, this PAA case study, and go through it. Basically, what they show is, hey, we had a subject area that was hardly getting any searches, and every time we did search engine research, what we found was all these terms that had like 100 or less searches a month. And so all they did is they went and they took in February, they had roughly 60 content pages. So they started writing, and they wrote about 100 articles starting in February 2021. And here they're up to 180 number of pages in the top 100. And as a result, they went from traffic in the area of less than 1,000 up to 6,109 per month just by doing this strategy. And the bulk of those, the monthly search volume for the main keywords for those 100 pieces of content was fairly low, under 200. And seeing that we wouldn't have prioritized or created content for some of these keywords and topics. So really strong, just go write content about the things that Google wants you to write content about. How do you know what that is? They're telling you. People also ask, people also search for. Those two things are telling you these are the things that Google wants to reward. And so if you go create really good content about those particular subjects, not only are they going to get ranked higher, but in addition to that, you're going to possibly be the one that is shown in the People Also Ask. I'm sorry, I got to go back to this case study for just a moment to show you this one more thing. Okay. One important caveat has to be pointed out. This is not to say that the 6,000 daily sessions to those pages are coming from those 100 keywords. The pages rank for a lot of other terms, and this leads to higher traffic numbers. Since we also captured the PAA, People Also Ask answer slot, we started showing up for some of the very high search volume keywords. While this SERP feature has a low CTR, the traffic adds up since it can be across hundreds or thousands of keywords of varying search items. And then they show an example here of how by showing up there, all of a sudden they're showing up for terms like golf discount, golf clubs near me, best place to buy golf clubs. All difficult terms to get ranked for. All right. So what do you think? Can you see the value here? Can you see what I'm talking about actually could move the needle for you? And that by using techniques like this, you can start to play nicely with the big kid on the playground that controls a lot of what's happening on the playground. And as a result, you can get a lot of traffic and sales as a result. All right. What's your thoughts? You can do this? Again, the site is searchresponse.io. At the moment, it's free. But at some point, they're going to go off to beta. And I do recommend there's the ability to sign up for an account. I do recommend you sign up for that account because it'll give you information as time goes on. All right. So there you go. People also ask, people also search for, focus on those, and you'll probably do better in the search engines. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.